Ooh, just in time.
Ladies and gentlemen, what's up, everyone? How's everybody doing? Happy Thursday. This is another edition of S.A.D that we love to call Something About Dynamite. This is your AEW Dynamite This is your AEW Dynamite recap show for January 18th, 2023. Today is January 19th, 2023. What's going on, everybody? Happy Thursday to you all. Hope you all are having a wonderful day, making the best out of whatever's going on. What's poppin', y'all? As always, I am Steve. What's poppin'? And of course, we're joined by the gang. We have Mr. Kane Lee in the house. Mr. Kane Lee, what's going on, brother? How you doing?
I'm editing this bullshit. It's really pissing me off.
Editing the bullshit. Okay. And of course, we're joined here by the pride of Detroit, the one, the only, Big Mike.
Yeah, what's up? What's
going on, brother? Hope all you guys are, doing the damn thing. Try to make the best out of whatever's going on.
Yeah.
What's popping, y'all? What's popping? If you guys are new to the YouTube channel, please hit that subscribe button down below. Hit the thumbs up, share through social media, and all that fun stuff here on the Around the Point Network. If you're on Twitch, which we're also live on right now, twitch.tv/Around the Point. We're trying to get that also growing as well. Busy schedule for us today. We got this, and then later on at around 9 p.m., we're going to be recording the throwback. So busy day for us. Busy fucking day. But here we are. Gentlemen, Dynamite is now a thing of the past. They were live yesterday, I believe, from Fresno, California. Is that correct?
Yeah, Fresno, California. Yep.
I gotta say, overall, again, I don't know what the rating is. I'm pretty sure it's not out yet. I'm not sure is it out. I'm not sure if it's out yet or not. But I thought
Mike just told us that it was out.
It was out. It was out.
Yeah, Mike just texted. I just put it in the private chat going.
As soon as we went live, I was like, "Oh, goody, it's out."
Well, I don't know the number yet. I'll let you read it in a sec. Before you do, I will say I thought the show overall, for a literally put together show, it looked like at the last, not the last second, but like a couple days ago, but the overall was a fun show.
It was not put together a few days ago. This was put together at least a week ago.
But you know what I mean? Like, it just feels like, it didn't have that much build, or, like the one, or like the previous show, like the previous week.
I understand what you're trying to say. I don't think that's accurate. The difference is that this was a regular Dynamite. Last week's was supposed to be a pay-per-view level show.
Yes.
So this was supposed to be a building episode to the next. This was supposed to build for the next few weeks, get us going on the road to Revolution. Compared to last week, when they had just
matches.
No, this was a fantastic Dynamite. Like, this was in all intents and purposes, this was a filler Dynamite. This was meant to build. But AEW, I think their best shows are filler shows. I've always enjoyed the shows where they can do some great matches that will build to some stories, and then they also can tell stories within those matches. And I think everything tonight did that. Everything tonight built to something. Besides, like, the main event was, I think, the only thing that felt a little bit more isolated. But that's also just the reality of an open challenge title reign, where you're going to have open challenges. But I mean, even then, that still builds to what I think is the end of Darby Allin's reign coming up in about a month or so.
Yeah. Listen, we're going to get to everything regarding what Trepkita said at the end of the review. All right? Just hang on tight. All right? Hang on tight.
We're getting to what?
Trepkita wrote in a comment here.
About the Warner Brothers Discovery
What's
stuff.
up, folks? Please tell me the reports of WB Discovery blocking AEW planned tribute show for Jay Briscoe is false. We'll get into that near the end. All right, so just hang on tight. All right, hang on tight.
I mean, I think that's not a bad idea if we want to go ahead and start with that, considering the way the show started.
Fuck it. You know what? Let's do it.
So this show started with a graphic saying in honor of or in memory of Jay Briscoe. I was trying to think of his real name. It's for some reason escaping me. Jim and Pew, and no 10-bell salute. No, everybody standing at the top. What I thought was going to happen was the roster would be out onto the stage and they would do a 10-bell salute. At least, like I didn't expect them to do a memorial show because they didn't announce that beforehand. They didn't give any indication that it would be a memorial show like they did with Mr. Brody Lee a little over 2 years ago. But they did nothing, and a lot of people were not sure. According to Sean Ross Sapp, I heard this in passing. I heard him bringing this up on the show. I wasn't fully paying attention, but I heard him say that somebody had texted him during the show, I think it was 45 minutes in, saying if Tony Khan could do more, he would. That led to reports coming out this morning from WrestlingNews.co, and I'm going to just make sure I have this all up, just so I don't misquote anything. But there were rumors last night that Warner Brothers Discovery blocked AEW from doing anything, and then this morning that was confirmed, or a report confirms that. And of course, I cannot find the report. A lot happened today in wrestling, so there's a lot of reports out. I'm trying to find it. Big Mike, do you have it by any chance? Oh, here it is. Got it.
Okay. I was going to say, I'll just go on the website real quick and grab it.
Yeah, so while speaking on Wrestling Observer Radio, Dave Meltzer noted AEW was not allowed by Warner Brothers Discovery to do a tribute show to Jay, and it all goes back to the tweet sent out by Jay a decade ago. We mentioned this yesterday, and I think I'm actually a really good person to talk about this with, because as somebody who is queer, those tweets were aimed at people like me and my community, and this is fucking stupid that they're still fucking blocking this. Yet immediately after AEW Dynamite, what do? They have Dana White at his show, even though Dana White was on film 19 days ago slapping his wife, and Dana was hosting a slap fight league. This is the same company who allows Ezra Miller, is accused of and Romeo's saying was Meltzer reporting it, and then Wrestling News was who I saw aggregating it. But Ezra Miller, who has been accused of grooming children, has been accused of running a cult, who has been on footage choking a woman in Hawaii. I think it was Hawaii, or maybe
that's
Poland.
The guy who plays the Flash, right?
Yeah, and they're still going out with this Flash movie. They're still holding on to him. They're still holding on to them. I want to be clear. Ezra goes by they, them pronouns. I'm still going to respect the pronouns of choice. But the fact that this company, that Warner Brothers Discovery, can't keep that same energy and will let they'll let Ezra, yet I'm fairly confident advertisers will not give a fuck if they do a Jay Briscoe memorial show. How many advertisers truly know about this? That's the thing that confuses the hell out of me is I don't think advertisers care, because I love Jay Briscoe, but he was not the biggest name in pro wrestling. That's the most confusing thing about all of this is which advertisers really would have thrown a fit if they did the memorial show. And it's just so frustrating that they wouldn't let them honor this man in a way that was fit on television. And so they're doing the ROH tribute show. They taped after Rampage. It will be posted on Honor Club for free, not behind the paywall of Honor Club. They're also going to post it on the Ring of Honor YouTube channel. And I looked at the card, it looked fucking awesome. I'm really excited. So I'm glad that they did something. They flew in Riccaboni, Chris Coleman, are two people I know they flew in for this. I think there's some other people they flew in as well. Like Christopher Daniels was going to be there, but having him come in and wrestling a match in the main event, that's going to be awesome. That's a really good tribute for a Ring of Honor. And the irony that this show opened up with Jay Lethal, who has been accused of sexual misconduct by Taylor Hendricks, who's somebody I respect the hell out of. And this show also had Don Callis, Don Callis wasn't on it, but had people it had Don Callis on it last week. Don Callis, another person who has been accused of sexual misconduct, and that they're perfectly okay with that. Yet Jay Briscoe, who put out a tweet over a decade ago, and I said yesterday when we did our tribute to Jay Briscoe, I said, this is a guy who made amends. He truly went out. He tried to learn and change as a person. And you see people like Effie, like Dark Sheik, Poyo, all these queer wrestlers, trans wrestlers, LGBTQ plus wrestlers come out and say Jay was always friendly to them, had shown that he was trying to learn and be better and challenge his faith. This is so fucking infuriating.
Yeah, I hear you.
And we kind of feel the same way, man.
Yeah,
you got to keep the same energy around the people you still have either on the payroll or who WB still has on their payroll and still promotes and shows and do things with. And if he can't do that, then you should take a strong look at who you're promoting and having, paid. You should look at them the same way because they've done equally as worse things than Jay Briscoe. Your
company's champion, Darby Allin, has also been accused of sexual assault.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And those were by multiple women.
Yeah.
And I'm not taking a side with this. I want to be clear. I'm not saying it's true. I'm not saying it wasn't true. Any of the allegations towards Lethal or towards Don Callis.
Yeah, you're just pointing out everything on the table. You're putting everything on the table.
I'm saying if you're going to take a stance as Warner Brothers Discovery and say Jay Briscoe, because of these tweets, they could not do a tribute show to a man who tragically died a day before. And this company was one of the champions of this company. Because Ring of Honor and AEW, I consider them to be one company at this point. I know they're technically not the same. I consider them to be the same.
Same owner.
In my personal viewpoint.
Same owner, basically.
It's just semantics, right?
Yeah, exactly.
It's like saying WWE and NXT. It's semantics. But then not letting them do a tribute show for Jay Briscoe when you let multiple people on AEW who do have these serious allegations and have not been addressed by AEW. You let Dana White, who was on film a few weeks ago slapping his wife. You have Ezra Miller, a fucking... if everything is true that has been alleged, Ezra Miller is a fucking horrible person who has done way worse shit than Jay Briscoe.
Mm-hmm.
Like objectively
break into
worse
a house
things than
as
Jay
well?
Briscoe. And like even WWE, not even like WWE has never had the Briscoes. I don't believe they've ever done a single match for WWE. I don't know if they've maybe done the squash in the past. I don't think so. They even did a fucking tribute.
Yeah,
I believe they did a better tribute than I think AEW were allowed to do. I preferred what they did. They showed more respect.
I'm sorry. I believe it was their NXT, like we talked about on Tuesday, about on Wednesday yesterday. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And I think also WBT Sports Twitter account also. But I feel like WBT Sports they're open with all wrestling in general.
Yeah, they are.
So
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if WWE even did a 10-bell salute on Friday just to honor him, because I think that's just how Hunter is. Hunter would have been a massive Briscoe fan. Like just knowing how Hunter feels about wrestling, knowing what he likes in his wrestling from what I've been told, he would have fucking loved them. This, as a queer person, is just infuriating, because I'm fairly confident that the people in charge of Warner Brothers Discovery are cis old white men who are straight. Just speak like cis straight. There's a lot of there's semantics in all of those words, but just to be more transparent about everything, I'm fairly confident that this is a company
of course.
that is run by straight white men. And the fact that they don't even fucking know
Twitter was also retweeting
how the people in the queer community actually feel.
Yeah.
I know there are, and I don't want to discredit anybody in the queer community that does feel hurt by what Jay Briscoe said, but from everything I have seen from queer people in the wrestling community, all of us are on the same page about Jay Briscoe and would have loved a tribute because we all know that he did take the steps required and tried to learn and change. So just I know it's been like I've been ranting about this for about 10 minutes, but this is I'm just so there's been I'm
listen,
rant about something later in the show that has to do with LGBTQ issues too. This week has just been a really bad week with LGBT issues.
No, dude.
So it's really frustrating to me.
No, dude,
it's so fucking annoying.
Listen, dude. At the end of the day, dude, it's your passion, but it's what you believe in, and I'm happy that you're fighting for what you believe in. At the end of the day, you know. But I think also, and I agree with I agree with what y'all saying. I agree with it. It's fucked up. It's a fucked up situation that they're in right now, right? But this is what happened again. I do recall Tony Khan saying, he was a loyalty, right? A loyalty. I know their TV rights is due that next year, right? That's what it's done. The TV rights deal, if they want to renew or not, right? As far as we know.
So I believe that the contract I think it runs through 2024.
So if I'm them, honestly, and again, it goes back to what Tony said, loyalty. I would reconsider, man. I would reconsider.
I would. I'm sorry. I fuck that. Be very clear. Fuck Warner Brothers Discovery. Fuck that company. The bullshit that they're fucking letting Dana White continue with the slap league already pissed me the fuck off.
Now, mind you, I didn't watch the slap league.
Not coming out 2 years ago when the Ezra Miller things began, and there was a pattern of behavior by them, and letting that go, and not addressing Ezra Miller choking a woman at a bar, and just saying, we're not going to talk about this. And then let this person go and film their $250 million movie. And then continuous issues by Ezra Miller. What do? Shut the fuck up. They don't say anything. And this is two different groups of leadership by Warner. Because we have the old leadership, and then we got the new one, and they're both fucking idiots. They don't know what the fuck they're doing and how to handle situations correctly. This is so fucking absurd that they're going to let this shit happen, and they're going to block Jay Briscoe from having a tribute to Jay Briscoe on their television show because of shit that happened over a decade ago that a lot of wrestlers in the LGBTQ plus community have come out and said that that's bullshit, that they're not letting them on TV. And I understand if they didn't want them wrestling a match on their TV, that's different than honoring a guy who fucking died. It's absurd.
Yeah, absolutely.
Cannot fucking believe this. Let's talk wrestling.
So let me read some comments real quick. Can we just read some comments if we can?
Yeah.
Because again, I want to thank you guys again for tuning in, chatting away. Again, if you have questions for us, feel free to drop in your questions as well. Let me see here. AEW was also retweeting that. AEW was retweeting that too. I guess some of the WWE stuff that wrestlers were tweeting out. I think they'll allow the talent to wear Jay's armbands on SmackDown and Raw. That'll be cool to see.
For sure.
That'll be
WWE
awesome.
Hunter especially has always been really good with that. Like that's why I think I wouldn't be surprised if they did a 10-bell salute, just because I think that's the way Hunter works.
Yeah. Kaden, I like your attitude. Keep up. And you're awesome. The whole cast is amazing. Massive respect to you all. Thank you. Appreciate that, Trikidia. Thank you. Appreciate that.
1 second. I need a solo because something white is in front of my trash can on the screen, but there's nothing there.
Okay.
I'm so confused. Wait. Oh, it's my coffee cup. I was so confused. What is y'all? Because y'all see that like right there. I'm like, What is that? And I'm looking and there's nothing there. It's my coffee cup. Thank you. Sorry, I'm in a fucking mood today.
Yeah, I can see that.
Trikidia writes really shitty 3 days. I'm so fucking
Trikidia writes here also, lots of networks would love to have AEW. I'd be like, I can walk over Fox and they'll give me tons of money. WBD won't even put the AEW event on HBO Max, something that with WBD needs to be fixed.
I don't know, and that's something I'm gonna get in. I think I'll probably talk about that on Around the Point if I'm on this week. I might be at Impact tomorrow night, figuring all that shit out right now. But
You going to Impact?
yeah, they're taping in Kissimmee tomorrow and Saturday, so I think I'm gonna go with some friends. And
Go, man. Have
More
a fun
power
time, bro.
to you.
dude, Impact's great. Sorry, I love Impact. Impact's
Take the day off, bro.
amazing.
Take the day
Their
off, dude.
content is so good right now, and I want to go see Mickey James because Mickey James is one of my favorites, and I
Dude,
love
go,
Hardcore
bro.
Country. It's one of my
Brother,
favorite
bro.
theme songs in
Brother.
wrestling.
Dude, go. Take the day off, bro. Take the
Oh
day
fuck
off.
yeah! Well, I think I'm gonna try to hop on, or I should be able to hop on for a little bit. I'm
Take the
hoping.
day. No, dude.
But yeah, I think I'm gonna
dude.
in a few
I-
weeks. I'm gonna take. I should get an email for the Jericho cruise. I'm not even going on the Jericho cruise. I'm gonna do some research for the next, like, I think 2 to 3 weeks. I'm gonna sit down and kind of do a lot of research into the TV deals and get an idea. Talk to some people who I know out in Hollywood. See if I can get their not a quote, but get their expertise on this. And I do want to take a little bit of time on Around the Point sometime in the next few, or Steve Kitchen, one of the two, and just kind of talk about the TV situation, because there was a report earlier this week that Fox thinks that the report is that Fox is losing a shitload of money from SmackDown, but they're also they're really paying a lot to SmackDown. So I wonder if Fox still wants wrestling, if they would go with AEW at a cheaper price,
Yeah.
and do AEW, maybe move AEW to Friday nights.
Listen, bro. I'm gonna just say this right now. Tomorrow, you go to the show. Take the day off. Enjoy.
There's a lot. I'm gonna
Mike,
Safet,
you
yeah.
agree
So
with that, Mike?
Safet,
agree
just so
with that,
you
Big
know,
Mike?
we're gonna AEW rating we'll do at the end of the show.
You agree with that, Big Mike? You agree with that? You should just go enjoy the show, have a fun time. Take
Yeah.
the day off at the end of the day.
Yeah, man. I mean, I was honestly thinking about going to SmackDown, but looking at the freaking resale tickets, it's fucking ridiculous.
What's on the
It's
card for
like,
SmackDown tomorrow?
it's like, dude, like lower bowl is like the cheapest is like $180 a ticket.
Damn. So
Not paying that.
That's how much it is right now for Rumble. Like, I was looking at Rumble tickets yesterday, and it's really, really bad.
since we're
That's
talking
why
about,
I'm like,
since we're
I'm trying
talking
to convince my
about
dad,
all this
because
stuff, this would be a good time to. So I put in so at work yesterday, right? I had to go up to the office. Like, Steven, yes, what's going on? Go upstairs to the office. I'm like, oh shit, something happened. What did I do? Right? And then my manager, like he's waiting, like, go to resources. I'm like, what's going on? Regarding your, but he made you wait for your vacation. I'm like, fuck this motherfucker. So I went upstairs. So it turns out I have 6 weeks of vacation.
That's good.
Two of them, it wouldn't be 4, but 2 of them rolled over. So I took precaution because I don't know I don't know if I'm going to LA or I'm going to Vegas for Double or Nothing. I don't know yet. I have no clue. Right?
Yeah.
But even if it's not Vegas, I'm taking precaution, right?
yeah,
Mhm.
So I already have the week of Mania weekend off for vacation,
Mm.
and the week that would be for Double or Nothing off.
yeah. I mean,
I
that's a good
I-
idea to just
I
go
took
ahead and have them
precaution.
off.
And
Yeah,
even
I
if
think
they-
I'm gonna
if you-
try to go to both. Me and my mom were supposed to go last year to Vegas for Double or Nothing, and then decided not to. And I don't remember I think I just didn't want to go. Like, I wasn't really feeling it, and I didn't think the card looked that good for Double or Nothing. This year, honestly, I have a feeling they're doing CM Punk and Kenny Omega, so
Yeah.
I'm gonna go.
So listen, guys. I know we rambled off for like 20, which is fine, which is cool, which is awesome.
Yeah,
You
let's
know
get
what I mean?
let's get into the show.
So
This was a really good Dynamite.
before we get into the wrestling, I just want to let you guys know real quick, we are doing a Royal Rumble contest. If you go on my Twitter at Heel Steven, I have a pinned tweet.
Yeah, and I'll
The
post the link in the chat too.
No, just go there, because if you go in the chat, it's gonna pop up a thing. I don't know if they'll direct into the link. I'm not sure.
I'll try it anyways.
Yeah, for sure. Appreciate that. But if you want information on that, go to my Twitter at Heel Steven, pin tweet. That's all the information you need regarding the Royal Rumble contest.
Yeah, and then I put the tweet. There should be the link to the tweet. So if you just want to copy and paste that and put that into your browser, that also should work. If there's any issues, just go to go to his Twitter account. All the information is there that you need for the contest. So
Yeah, exactly.
go ahead and join. We're trying to have a little fun with the Rumble.
Exactly.
And then hopefully I can get a ticket to the Rumble because right now shit's expensive as fuck. But I do have a flight ticket. At least I will at least be. My plan is to be in San Antonio for the Rumble. Worst thing, I just go home for the weekend. But because it's
I have
an
a
hour and a half from my house.
So I'm gonna see what I can do. I have a mother my mother's a travel agent, so I'm gonna see what I can do. Without further ado, guys, let's fucking go. Let's talk about wrestling, bruh.
Yeah, let's talk about
Leaders.
AEW Dynamite opened. I don't know why they have to open with this. I cannot fucking stand this, man. They opened with Orange Cassidy versus Jay Lethal, and this was actually a pretty fun opener. Personally, would have opened with a tag match instead. But this was a good match. A lot of focus on the antics outside at ringside. Orange Cassidy and Jay Lethal, they set this up last week when Jarrett hit the guitar over the head of Golden Globe winner Paul Walter Hauser. Great actor. Paul Walter Hauser is amazing. R.I.P. Stingray got hit with the guitar, unfortunately. Y'all know Cobra Kai, you know about Stingray and the legendary Stingray. Fantastic.
Yeah.
But this was a lot of the, like I said, a lot of the focus was on the ringside antics. Tony Khan announced that if Satnam Singh, Jeff Jarrett, or Sanjay Dutt got involved in this match, then Sanjay Dutt would be fired. So instead, they bought tickets. They spent 2 minutes. We had to watch these guys walk down from the top of the stairs all the way down to the ringside seats, which was, don't know why it took that long. And then I gotta delete 2 pictures to get these 2 up that I love. But then Danhausen, if I can find this, we had Usherhausen as Danhausen showed up to make sure that they had the right tickets and they were in the right seats. Amazing. Then we went back to a little bit of back and forth in the ring between Lethal and Orange Cassidy. Decent match in the ring. And then at ringside, we also had the best friends, Trent Beretta and Chuck Taylor. They had tickets also to be sitting ringside, so then they showed up. Jeff Jarrett was trying to give the guitar over to Jay Lethal when the ref was distracted. That way Jay could hit Orange with the guitar. And then Danhausen jumped over and stole the guitar, and he played a curse. He played a curseful tune onto Jeff Jarrett and Jay Lethal, which was my favorite thing of the match, was Danhausen playing the guitar. Lethal gets back in the ring. Orange Cassidy hits him with the orange punch. I think I already put that picture up, but I'll put it up again because, that's a great picture there they got. Orange punch. Orange Cassidy pins Jay Lethal 1, 2, 3. He retains his All Atlantic belt. Had some little bit of extracurricular activities after the match where they were all like Satnam, Jeff Jarrett, and they were all trying to fight Orange and the best friends. And Sanjay Dutt was like, "No, you're gonna get me fired. What are you doing?" Great acting there by Sanjay Dutt. I really liked that. And then they all just walked to the back. And that was the end of that. I think they're probably I feel like they're going to continue this. Unfortunately, I don't need this to continue. Although I would not mind Jeff Jarrett versus Orange Cassidy. I would kind of like that match. Steve, how'd you feel about this?
I thought it was funny. Again, Danhausen at times is hit and miss. At times, not again, but I can put up with it. It's funny, haha. Like this is funny shit. That being said, I do see down the road, like you said, Jeff Jarrett potentially getting a shot at the All Atlantic title. And for someone like Jeff, who will be a total sport about it, you know, because think about this, right? There's a lot of these veterans who will look at someone like Orange Cassidy. What the fuck is this? What is he doing?
I think that was the case. I can say I don't think it's the case anymore. I think he's proved himself.
But yeah, he proved himself. Absolutely. He's proved himself. But someone like Jeff, you know what I mean? Like he'll be down for it. He'd be down for it. He's open to it, you know? Yeah. But I thought overall for a match, again, it was a fun little match. And I do agree this is likely to continue. Think about it, right? To think that a moment ago, you know, Jarrett and Lethal were feuding with the Acclaimed, and now here they are feuding with Orange Cassidy, which is cool. for what it is. But as a match overall, it was fun. Good to see Cassidy retain.
I agree.
Yeah.
Big Mike.
Yeah, normally I frown upon these type of segments, but I thought it was a fun match leading into some fun shenanigans on the outside. Like Steve said, Danhausen sometimes could be hit or miss, but I enjoyed what he did with the tickets, being an usher and then playing a Cursible tune on the guitar. It was all fun. Good opener for AEW.
Yeah. So next up, we had the first of, I think, like in ring wise, some great matches. I think we had 3 like fantastic in ring matches tonight or last night. As the Young Bucks, Nick and Matt Jackson, the new AEW Trios champions, 2/3, took on Top Flight. These guys, honestly, I consider Top Flight to be the Young Bucks light. Like they're like the new version of the Young Bucks, but maybe I think they could end up actually being a little better. I love Dante and Darius; they're fantastic. Nick reversed a wrist lock from Dante, and Dante matched Nick's counter with one of his own. Nick shoved Dante away, and Dante fired back with a roundhouse kick. Matt tagged in, and Top Flight employed rapid tags using tandem offense on the Young Bucks, but the Bucks were there to answer with their own patented elite-level tag team maneuvers. We had a diving crossbody for a near-fall Darius on the Matt Jackson. Darius hitting a forearm, Nick tagging in and hitting a nasty super kick. A little bit of double teaming from the Bucks. They had Dante getting ready to make that hot tag out to Darius for a bit, getting that usual tag team stuff that you need. Darius gets in with that hot tag. I noticed him hitting some of the Mark Briscoe and Jay Briscoe level chops, like those when they go like this. Like y'all know what I'm talking about? Like the chops that they like the punches they have to hit, like the upper. Y'all know what I mean.
Yeah.
I noticed them hitting a little bit of those. And then Dante and Darius go for that amazing the nosedive moonsault powerbomb combination to hit that on Matt, but Nick gets in at the last second to break it up. A little bit more teaming, double teaming from both, as there was a tribute to the Briscoes and Jay Briscoe going for that doomsday device that they land onto Darius Martin. And Dante Martin gets in to break it up just at the last second. Again, another really close kick out there with some great tag team maneuvers. The Bucks then attempt a BTE trigger on Darius, but Darius dodges it and then goes for that little roll-up pin a little bit where he rolls them up, but then grabs the legs and holds them over. 1, 2, 3. Top Flight pin the AEW Trios champions, 2/3 of the AEW Trios champions. If you guys remember last month on December 23rd at Holiday Bash Rampage, Top Flight and AR Fox won the Three Kings, whatever the fuck, 230,000, the long ass name, Battle Royal. The
Battle Royal for 300.
Yeah, the Royal Rumble Trios Battle Royal, pretty much. Like that's what it was. Royal Rumble for the trios, and they beat the BCC. They were able to take out Claudio Castagnoli with help from Hangman. Hangman got in there. So, and then they had a few weeks where they had battles with BCC. Unfortunately, they had great showings there, but did not get the win. And this was their win over the Bucks. I would assume that we're going to get AR Fox and Top Flight versus the Elite sometime soon. Mike, I'm going to throw this to you first. How do you feel about this upset and the match in general?
The match was fun. Taking it back to the beginning of when the Bucks came out, I never paid attention to this at all when the trios, they didn't have the belts.
I noticed that too. I don't know what happened there.
Yeah, they didn't have the belts when they came out. Was kind of confused by that, but nonetheless, the match was fun. I really am enjoying a lot of the matches from Top Flight. I think they're showing great promise in being a next top tag team in AEW. Can't wait to see what is next for them. Very, very good match.
Steve, how do you feel about this upset?
I love the fact that we got that upset victory. I loved it. I love that part of it. I thought the match overall was a fun match. I love the Young Bucks' tribute to the Briscoes and moments of the match. But when it was all said and done, Top Flight, I do feel, but by the time we end 2023, we'll be tag team champions in AEW, in my opinion. But that's something that we shall see if that even comes to fruition. But overall, I love the match. I thought, again, that good upset victory. You can just tell when it was all said and done. I think it was Matt Jackson who was in shock. Like, what? That was actually 3? No, yeah, it was 3, bruh. You lost. You lost, buddy. So there was that.
Yeah, I am trying to find out why they did not have the belts. I'm reaching out to people because I had noticed that, but didn't really think about it.
Yeah, because when I glanced at my TV, I saw because they still had on the attire from Game 7. So I was like, okay, cool. And then I look at the TV and they took the jackets off, and I was like, they don't got the belts. I was like, where's the belts?
I noticed because when they came out with the jackets, I was like, I don't see belts. Like I didn't see this isn't the greatest word to use, but I didn't see a bulge in the waist. It looked flat, like it looked flat against their stomach, and I was like, "That's odd. I don't see belts there." So I'm trying to figure it out. Romeo, good brother Romeo over on True Heel Heat, love Romeo, saying I think they wanted to start off goofy to offset the sadness. I think so too. I do think that's probably the reason. I do know that Fightful Select has been getting the last 3 weeks have been actually getting AEW Dynamite plans, and they don't usually get those. So I'm surprised we've gotten them for 3 weeks straight. Good for them. Great work over there by Sean Ross Sapp and everyone at Fightful getting those plans. And they did say that they were not set for a lot of time. So I do think that might have been planned for a little later, but they wanted to do a little goofiness and get everybody laughing and get the show going that way. It was a good way to open. Romeo also saying, having the trios champs lose the very next week is dumb. I will not apologize, especially when Top Flight just spent weeks losing to BCC. And because they wanted you to forget they were champs when they lose. I mean, I don't agree that they wanted them to forget they were champs when they lose, because Excalibur on commentary consistently brought up match 7 and that they were the champions and said they must have had some rust on them being in tag team competition, because they haven't wrestled a 2-on-2 tag match since probably June or July. I think since they lost the tag titles to Swerve and Our Glory. So at least probably 6 months or so, because they've been doing the trios matches. But I thought that was a little confusing to me. I do not, and I said this last night, and I got fucking obliterated by everybody saying, no, this is why it's a good reasoning. The rust on them, and they were in the Escalera de la Muerte. The excuses of why pinning your champions is good. I will never agree with pinning your champions. There are very few cases where I'm okay with it. And like one of the only ones I liked was like Jungle Boy Jack Perry at Winter is Coming last year, pinned Brian Cage, who was a Ring of Honor Trios champion or 6-man champion. That's okay. I'm okay with that, because you're not building up Brian Cage. He was a Ring of Honor 6-man. They're not really caring about the Ring of Honor 6-mans. I'm okay with Brian Cage getting pinned. Just like if Khan or Tonga Leoa, is it Tonga Leoa?
I have no clue.
The other guy.
Which one are you talking about?
The other guy, not
the
Khan. The one next to Khan in the embassy.
To do with the dreads, right? To do with the dreads.
Tongaloa?
No, it's not Tongaloa. That's the other guy. Wait. The embassy.
It don't matter.
I want to get the guy's name right.
Fine.
Toa Leona. That's the guy.
The guy from the embassy.
It's Toa Leona. So like if you want to pin them, that's also fine. I don't care. If you want to pin Wheeler Yuta, Ring of Honor Pure Champion, you can pin Ring of Honor Pure Champion. That's not a big deal. But one of your trios champions, after they just won the belts last week, that's where I have an issue. Like if they had lost this match 2 months later, like this was in March or April, I would not mind it as much. The fact that they just won the championships last week, and they, like Romeo pointed out, they lost the last few weeks to BCC. It makes BCC now feel like a more important team than the Elite. It makes it seem like Kenny Omega is the only reason why the Elite are winning, because Kenny Omega hadn't wrestled a singles match in 13 months besides facing Shino on AEW Dark, which is not on the same level as a Will Ospreay. Yet he still went to Japan and beat Will Ospreay. So you made Will Ospreay, or you made Kenny Omega after not wrestling for 13 to 14 months in singles action. They made him look strong. But this, after the Bucks hadn't wrestled in 6 months in regular tag action, and they lost to Top Flight, who haven't gotten a tag team win on television in like 5 months on AEW Dynamite. That's my biggest issue with this. On Dynamite, I don't remember the last time they won a match on Dynamite.
Yeah, so, Chief, go out of your way, watch it, brother. It was a good show.
Great episode. Yeah. It's not going to push stories. It's not going to be like last week where it's all these blow-offs. It's going to push stories and be more filler. So this is definitely, I think this show was more focused on having some really good in-ring matches and mixing some stories in a little bit. So, but like, I mean, I love the show. I actually prefer it to last week's. I thought I enjoyed this one more than last week's because last week's had the promos that I fucking hated. Safet saying very WWE-ish. I 100% agree. WWE will pin their champions after just having them win the tag titles. I don't like that. I understand the storyline reasoning of it. I get, like, I think in kayfabe it works in terms of, yeah, they had Escalera de la Muerte last week. Yeah, they're coming off of a seven match series. Yeah, they haven't wrestled a regular tag match in 7 months, but they also just won the titles, and it makes the trios titles not feel important, and they need to make those titles feel important right now because they've had a very turbulent last 5 months.
I totally agree. I mean, it's fun and it's all good and dandy, to have Top Flight get an upset victory, but this was not the time to do that.
Facts.
At all.
Yeah.
Big facts.
That was my only issue was I think that this should have been a good win for the Bucks here. And even you could still have them win and then still do the trios match because they still have the opportunity. I don't know. The upset just didn't work for me here. Just because the way I feel about pinning champions, I don't like it. You got to have a good reason. I don't think they had a good enough reason. But next up, we were supposed to have the Acclaimed Max Caster, Anthony Bowens, accompanied by Daddy Ass. But the fucking Gun Club comes out. Oh, this was not good. They called out the Acclaimed. The Acclaimed came out. Max Caster gave one of his worst raps in weeks. Oh, it was so bad. Like they
censored something too at the
end. So I heard it on the fight feed. He said, because they were in Fresno State, I believe Fresno State, their mascot's the Bulldogs, and they said, "You're not the Bulldogs, you're the bullshitters."
Oh, so are they cracking down? Are they cracking down?
Yes, they are.
On a lot of profanity.
They're cracking down on the shits. Yeah, which I've been saying for a long time. They probably shouldn't be saying shit on TV as much as they were. But yeah, so I thought this promo was kind of bad. Daddy Ass wants them to have family therapy. Don't know why we didn't do this 6 months ago when this feud first started. I do not care about the Ass Boys. There are way more talented teams. Why not do the Lucha Brothers? Why not, I know the FTR is off TV right now, but we could realistically be doing FTR. The Kingdom, you have the Kingdom. They're a great tag team. You have Top Flight, who could really benefit from doing a program with the Acclaimed. There are goddamn fucking give me more of Jeff Jarrett and Jay Lethal over this. Oh my god!
I thought I never heard you say that. Give you Jeff Jarrett.
And I fucking hate Jeff Jarrett and I hate Jay Lethal. Jeff Jarrett. I'm coming out. I'm enjoying him more. And more.
You're warming up to me.
Kind of fun. I don't love Jeff Jarrett, but he's funny and I like his theme song. Cannot fucking stand Jay Lethal. But there are way more tag teams. You have such a good tag team division.
Yeah, I think what they're trying to do is they're trying to keep a lot of more talking, entertaining talkers alongside with the Acclaim, more so than guys that won't be able to go back and forth with them on the microphone. I think there's a couple of people, a couple of teams that can hang with them on the mic, but I think that's just where they're going with. It's not more so in the in-ring work, but more so of the talking.
Yeah. Steve, before I throw this to you, see how you feel about this. I'm just going to run down the teams that I'd prefer to have in this feud with the Acclaimed.
Fair enough.
Because I did pull up a list. 2.0, Daniel Garcia and Sammy Guevara could also be a fun little program.
Mm-hmm.
Best Friends, FTR, the Lucha Brothers, Private Party, the Kingdom, the Varsity Athletes. I really like Woods and Knees. Do something with them. Top Flight, Jungle Hook, coming off a big win last week. Or Hookhausen. Do Hookhausen again. The Butcher and the Blade, the Kings of the Black Throne. You could also do Brody King and Buddy Matthews if you wanted to do a little mix up there. Eddie Kingston and Ortiz. You could do Silver and Reynolds, Uno and Reynolds, Uno and Silver. Bring back Stu Grayson, Uno and Grayson, Andrade and Roosh. There's more.
Well, regarding Andrade,
who else?
I mean,
The Nightmare Factory. You could do QT Marshall and Nick Camarado. You could do JD Drake and the Workhorseman, JD Drake and the other guy whose name I can't remember, Anthony Henry.
that's more of a Rampage kind of
Lee
match.
Moriarty and Big Bill. Ethan Page and Matt Hardy.
Yeah,
They're doing
I'll
really
take
good
that.
work.
Yeah, I'll take that too. Those last two you said, I'll take both of those.
What, Ethan Page and Hardy?
Yeah, and Lee Moriarty and Big Bill.
Yeah. Where's Swerve? Why not do Swerve and Parker Boudreaux?
I'll take that too.
For them at least. The Trustbusters. Yeah. The Trustbusters are also there. Yeah. And then
I just think
the
Embassy, think that they just want to get
the Gates of Agony on your television too. Why aren't the Gates of Agony doing anything? Why aren't there's other bringing the Cheeseburger and the other guy, what's their name? The Killer.
Cheeseburger still.
Cheeseburger with another guy. You also have
he's still in AEW. I think.
Yeah, Dalton Castle and the boys. Have Dalton Castle team with one of the boys. There was another tag team on my mind who I just fucking forgot about, who was also in Ring of Honor. Blake Christian and Aaron Fox. They pinned Drolistico and Roosh. Do them. I cannot remember the other team I was thinking of now.
That's fine, but I get what you're saying though. I get the approach you're going with, and I agree 100%. You know, regarding the segment, you know, you did say moments ago that Billy Gunn said that
Shane Taylor Promotions, JD Griffey and Shane Taylor. Come on.
Okay. But you did say moments ago that family therapy session, right? I think someone on Twitter said this. I forgot who it was, but if there's ever a time to break that forbidden door,
bring in Dr. Shelby.
Bring in Dr. Shelby. I'm so
over the Ass Boys. I had to watch them pin FTR, my favorite tag team of all time. I had to watch them pin them in person. I was in the building.
Listen, man, you think that's bad? I had to see Jake Paul knock down Anderson Silva.
Were you in person?
No, but I can
exactly. You weren't there. You didn't have to sit in the audience and watch that shit happen.
Yeah, but I lived through it though. But you get the idea though, okay? But I get what you're saying. I 100% agree. I do think that at this point in juncture, the Ass Boys, they've done nothing. They've done jack shit.
They do nothing for me.
The reason, can we just say it? Can we just say it? Y'all want to carry that energy about Dominic, right?
Yeah,
I agree.
Y'all want to shit on Dominic?
Keep that same energy for the Ass Boys. Keep that same energy. Keep that same energy.
I prefer Dominic. At least
ex-condom.
Ex-condom is at least fucking hilarious. I don't give a shit about what they're doing. Do you guys think that Billy Gunn turns on them? I would do that. I think that the Acclaimed are only over right now because of Daddy Ass. And I think if you want to actually see if this team is truly over on their own, you take away Daddy Ass.
Did they do that already, though? A month ago or so ago? Where
they did it when
they were all together.
That was last summer. Like that was over the summer when they did that. When he originally did turn, and then he turned back. But that was 7 to 8 months ago.
Yes, but we've done that though, in a way.
Yeah, but I think that this a permanent turn and actually have him because he only turned for 2 weeks and then he came back to them. I think you gotta do the full turn.
Yeah, but I think Billy Gunn likes being this over again. He hasn't been this
I
over
think
since '99.
yeah, but let's see if they're really are the Acclaimed really over on their own accord. Come on, like let's see
Come
if
on,
they're
Hayes.
actually over,
Come on, Hayes.
or if it's just daddy ass. I think it's just daddy ass.
I think it's just daddy ass too, to be honest with you. But hey, it is what it is. We'll see. We'll see. Look,
Yeah,
that's a good thing though. Take them away and see if they're at over.
yeah. Well, next up, we had Renee Paquette and Hangman Adam Page backstage. Hangman said, after our first match, John took something from me. I feel like after this win over John Moxley, I at least have my word back. I understand the nature of wrestling. Our first match, he put me to sleep, but then he wanted to make a joke out of it. So in the second match, I knocked him out. I have some fences I need to mend, but I don't want to get overly specific just yet. And at the end, he goes, hey, if you get the chance, could you tell? Oh, never mind. So, yeah, looks like Hangman's going to be mending some fences. A lot of people pointing out, I think people are going straight over to CM Punk because of him calling Hangman a dumb fuck, an empty-headed dumb fuck.
Mm.
That doesn't make sense to me because they were never friends on television. I think that this is either the Elite or the Dark Order. I also have seen people throw out Adam Cole and could do Adam together again. Would not mind that, but I really think it's the Elite. They look like they were building to that in All Out, like because All Out it was Dark Order and Hangman versus the Elite. So I think they're building to have Hangman rejoin the Elite and bring that group back together. Steve, how do you feel about the Hangman? Who do you think? Who do you think he's going to mend fences with?
I think first with the Elite. If you go back in the early days, or if you go back in time, right? Didn't Hangman cost the Young Bucks a tag team title match?
Yeah, so that was heading into All Out 2020.
Yes.
There was it was a battle royal, or no, I think it was a tag team gauntlet match, and he cost the Bucks. They got eliminated by FTR, and then FTR beat Best Friends, and it was FTR versus Hangman and Kenny.
But even before all that, I think it was on the episode of Dynamite on the Jericho Cruise. It was
that was when they won they won the titles. That was when Kenny and Hangman won the titles.
I'm sorry.
No, so that was because they were building to. So if you remember back at the first ever All Out 2019, Hangman asked the Bucks to accompany him to the ring to be ringside with him for his match against Jericho, and they said no. And that was what started all of this. And then Hangman lost. That's what started him doing the drinking gimmick. Because I think he also lost a Pac. I believe he lost a Pac at Full Gear. And then that was when he really started going down. That was when the drinking gimmick started. And then him and Kenny teamed up. They won the titles on the Jericho Cruise from SCU, the tag titles. And then they did the Revolution match. At the Kenny Hangman versus the Young Bucks, one of the best tag team matches of all time. And that's what that was what started to lead to and they were building the breakup, and the breakup finally happened when they kicked him out of the Elite in August of 2020. The Bucks kicked him out. Then they lost the titles, and then at the next pay-per-view Full Gear is when they did Kenny versus Hangman and the world title eliminator tournament finals. And then after the Bucks beat FTR for the tag titles later that night, Kenny showed up. Kenny helped them, and you can see from the end of the heel tunnel, you see Hangman standing there in the tunnel still, deciding if he wanted to come out or not, and he did not because he was kicked out of the group. So he did not go and celebrate, and that's what led to what we eventually saw, where Hangman at Full Gear 2021 beat Kenny Omega. And I think now it's time for them to come back together. But Big Mike, how'd you feel?
Yeah, I thought it was a good segment. And I think that he does mend fences with the Elite, and they get that all banded back together. I think that. Do you think that if that happens, they kind of build some tension around Adam Cole, and then that's when we'll get like something with Adam Cole and seeing who he joins up with?
I had an idea a while ago, remember?
I don't think so yet. I think they do Adam Cole in the Kingdom in a few months. If you guys want to hear my full thoughts on, I'll give a preview of this. So I did my
Okay.
first ever episode on Fightful Overbooked of my new show, Book It. And I had Kylie Fuller as my first guest. If y'all know about Kylie, you know, she's a very big Elite stan. I was next to her at Full Gear. And when the Elite made their return with Carry On My Wayward Son, she was crying. She was in tears. I got to watch her cry. And it was a really heartfelt moment for her to be able to be there for that. But we decided to book Kenny Omega's IWGP US Heavyweight title run. And in that, we kind of talked about the Trios titles because he has the Trios titles. And I had Hangman and the Bucks reuniting to be the Hung Bucks again and to do a trio feud. And I think you could do that with the Kingdom. I would keep Adam Cole as a face for at least 6 months. I wouldn't do that. If you did that, I wouldn't do it till maybe All Out. I would first try to get Kyle back. Try to get Kyle O'Reilly back, and you do the Undisputed Era, and you just that's when you bring back Bobby Fish. You can bring Bobby Fish back for that. You don't need Bobby Fish until then, but you can bring Bobby will come back. Bobby Fish will come back. Let's be real. We all know he'll come back. So I think you wait for that, or maybe you get Roddy back too. You could get Roddy to come over. I don't know his contract situation, but you could get Roddy potentially. I would wait first, just to wait until about a year after after Kyle's surgery. And then if you 100% know, like, okay, we're going to not have Kyle for another 6 to 8 months, or not have a full healthy Kyle for 6 to 8 months, then you do the Kingdom. But I wait a little bit until you do that. I think because also I think we should get an Adam Cole face run for a bit until he goes heel again.
Yeah.
Because he's over. He's going to get cheered for a bit.
Yeah.
They also have not built the Kingdom up yet. Like, you gotta if he went to them, he's going with jobbers. Like, that's fucking stupid. First build the Kingdom up. I would give them I would put the Ring of Honor tag titles on them eventually, and then you can do that. Then you do Adam Cole, or even fucking have Adam Cole be Claudio Castagnoli for the Ring of Honor championship. I wouldn't mind that.
Yeah 100%.
So yeah, next up, I feel like we're not gonna want to talk about this for long. Jake Hager versus Ricky Starks. This was a match.
Yeah, it was there.
He likes that match. He likes that hat. Starks hit the spear onto.
Can you buy that on Shop 8? Can you buy that?
Yes,
on
you
Shop
can.
8?
It is embroidered and it says, "I like this hat."
Wow,
you can buy it. I found that. Starks hit the spear on Hager. I think it was like maybe a little less than 10 minutes. I'm sure I can find the cage match numbers. I just don't care enough.
Okay.
Thank you, camera. It does that a few times a day. Yeah. This was a match. Starks won. Anybody got thoughts?
Happy that he got the win. Hey, man, I'm happy for him. He got the win.
Zero thoughts from here.
Zero thoughts. I forgot this happened.
Exactly, yeah.
And then after the match, they set up that they announced this last week, but Garcia will face Action Andretti on Rampage. And if Garcia does beat Action Andretti, he will be the person to team up against Andretti and Starks next week instead of Sammy Guevara. And it'll be, they're calling him, I forgot what, Jericho, but I would prefer Jerry Garcia.
Jerry Garcia.
That's a great name. It's right there for you. And Jericho said no. He said, we're not doing Jerry Garcia. And somebody asked him. He said, no Jerry Garcia. I'd prefer that, but it'll either be Jerry Garcia or La Sex Gods taking on. I think they said it is Starks and Andretti. I would assume because they said tag match. I don't remember if they said Andretti. I would assume it's Starks and Andretti though. Yeah. I mean, Sammy Guevara is costing Garcia the match, right?
Yeah.
100%. I'm sure I can find out if that happened. I mean, I can go look at the spoilers, but I assume that's what's going to happen.
But yeah, because it happened it's on Rampage.
Yeah, it was on Rampage. They already taped it. You know what? Yeah. I'm not going to say it. I'm just going to look it up because I don't give a fuck.
Okay. I don't care neither. I don't care neither, but I don't know what the viewers might think.
Oh, I'm not going to say it because I know Steve doesn't like to be spoiled.
Oh, yeah.
Man. Okay. I just saw it. So, yeah, next up, we had another 5-star match from Bryan Danielson for me, as Bryan Danielson took on the former Ring of Honor World Champion, Bandito. This was phenomenal, amazing. 5-star classic. They started out with a battle of submissions, a battle of Romero specials, which is one of my favorite submission moves. I love watching a Romero special. And then they just kind of went at it with submission moves. This was a very submission-based match between the two. Everybody, they kind of hit a few different things. Bandito, like this move right here, where he looked like he was trying to like grab him up and like hit the power bomb on him, but he didn't really get him all the way. So then he did like kind of like an overhead slam type move. Like there were some nasty spots in this. They beat the shit out of each other. They really went heavy at each other with the submissions. Danielson hit the Busaiko knee. Is that how you say it? Busaiko knee?
Busaiko knee.
Yeah. I'm sure I can find it. They're just calling it AEW calls it the running knee. Yeah, the psycho knee onto Bandito. I didn't describe a lot about what happened in this match because I think everybody needs to go watch it. If you have not watched it, this was just fantastic. They got about a little over 18 minutes, I believe. 5-star for me. Big Mike, how'd you feel about this just instant Dynamite classic between Danielson and Bandito?
I really like this match. This match was really good. Good back and forth. Good submission wrestling. It was really good. I don't know, like Bryan Danielson, man, this dude just can put on a banger with almost anybody. Like really almost anybody. And I just can't wait till this Iron Man match happens because I know this is going to be another banger too.
Yeah, Steve, how do you feel?
I said this on Twitter when the match was over. Bryan Danielson has this special ability about him that he can grab anybody on the roster, no matter what promotion it is, and make them feel. You know what? I'm gonna just reread my tweet. I'm gonna reread my tweet that I posted on Twitter literally when this was over. All right, I'm gonna just read it out because I feel like it's so fucking true. And again, this is my just point of view of it, of course, right? Here's Bryan Danielson's ability to bring out the very best in everyone he steps in the ring with is a masterclass.
Yeah,
it is.
I agree. Bryan Danielson is imagine thinking Bryan Danielson ain't the fucking GOAT. He is fucking good.
He's amazing. He's fucking amazing. And it's one of those things where it's like you put him up with anyone and he brings out the very best. And I look forward and I guarantee you next week, the person he's facing, he's going to bring the very best out of that person.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's facing Brian Cage next week.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
And that's the next thing is, backstage, MJF goes up to Brian Cage, gives him money, slaps him, and then says, you know that hatred right there? I want you to use that hatred against Bryan Danielson next week. And I promises him a shitload of money if he can do it.
I want to point out, too, listen, Brian Cage had this banger match, right? With Brian Cage will have this banger match with Brian, right? And because of that, I'm pretty sure Brian Cage, that is, right? Fuck, the Battle of Brian's. Holy shit. Brian Cage, he still takes independent bookings, right?
Yeah.
His fee's going to go up. His fee's about to go up. Bandito's fee going to go up too. Konosuke, his fee, whatever they were paying him to do indie bookings, through the roof. Through the fucking roof. Payday. Yeah. Just saying.
Yeah. Everything we saw there was good. Next up, we had Willow Nightingale taking on Toni Storm. Match in the ring I thought was perfectly fine. Toni working as a heel. They kind of set them up as a heel, as Toni and Saraya, setting them up as heels a little bit going in. And then Yashida comes down ringside. This goes against what Saraya told her to stay in the back. But Toni wins with a roll up, pulls Willow's tights. Afterwards, Saraya and Toni beat down Willow.
Yeah.
Ruby Soho comes to save Willow as she just kind of stood there and did not know how to react. And it looks like we got Saraya and Toni as heels here. setting up them against Willow and Ruby next after Willow and Ruby got that win in the street fight. Kind of seemed like a double. I don't think it's a full double turn yet. More like just turning Tony and Saraya heel now. I would assume the next move is to turn Britt and Jamie Hayter faces. Big Mike, I know we had disagreements on this. I know you think that the booking is a mess. I don't necessarily think so. I think it actually is like made sense. I didn't see them doing the turn last night, but I don't hate it. I kind of like it.
See, I wouldn't mind this neither if Saraya didn't come in the way that she came in. You know, honestly, because when you mentioned double turn in our group chat, I was like, when did they, outside of the fans, you know, taking control of, you know, Britt Baker and Jamie Hayter, you know, cheering for them relentlessly because they love Jamie Hayter. I like Jamie Hayter too, but the double turn, like there was zero double turn. And it doesn't even leave room for a double turn to really happen because you turn them here. There's really no combating back with Saraya and Toni Storm after they attacked Willow after the match. And it makes no sense from what happened last week with Shida tossing the kendo stick into the ring. So it seemed like that she was going to be the one to turn heel and turn and make something up, but it's not making sense at all. It's like they do it one way and it's like, no, we could probably turn it back this way real quick and see if it'll work, and it's really not working.
So here's
for
what
me at least.
So here's what we'll do now. You guys heard the point of views. What I'm gonna do now,
He didn't give my point of view.
He didn't give his point of view yet.
Okay. Well,
just go ahead and post it. It's fine. We can go ahead and post the poll. But yeah, so for me, the one thing I'll say is, so last week with the Shida thing, I think that they might have had the idea to have Shida turn heel, and then you could do the double turn. Like you could have both teams have the outsiders turn and then the originals, which I know some people are saying homegrown. I don't agree with the term homegrown because it's not homegrown. Jamie isn't. I don't consider Jamie or Shida to be homegrown. To be perfectly clear, I don't think they're. I mean, Britt is homegrown. Jamie and Shida had names for themselves outside of AEW. So
yeah, but not a lot of people. I don't think a lot of people knew. Like not a lot of hardcore people knew, but not a lot of people.
Yeah, but I mean,
was.
But also Moxley is considered an AEW original. He's not considered a home. He's treated like a homegrown, but he's an original, not a homegrown.
Yeah, so, that's where the terminology differs. You know, an original and a homegrown is different. It's like say, like Darby's a homegrown and an original. Yeah,
but there's also like there are a lot of people who are. It's semantics really about homegrown or original. I prefer to use the term original, not homegrown in this. So I think that they might have been planning to do a Shida heel turn and do a double turn down the line. But Chase told us, Saraya was getting heavy boos last week. And I think that the fans, the last few months, I think the fans have started to kind of turn on Saraya. And I knew that was going to happen with the Britt match, just because I think fans would prefer to cheer Britt over Saraya, because I think AEW fans prefer to cheer their originals over the outsiders. They kind of like, especially when you're shitting on with that promo from Saraya, where she said, I was in Madison Square Garden, I was in the Tokyo Dome, even though she wasn't. She was in Tokyo Sumo Hall. Saying all these things about what she's done and downgrading what Britt did. I think that's kind of what started to turn fans on Saraya a little bit. So I knew what was going to happen. I knew they were eventually kind of going to turn. I thought it was actually going to happen in the Britt match. Didn't, surprisingly. I thought it was more 50-50 than I thought it was going to be. But they started, they were turning on her, which I knew was going to eventually happen. It happens with a lot of outsiders. That's why a lot of outsiders eventually do turn heel. So I knew it was going to happen. For me, I don't think it's as big of a mess in terms of the story. I think it works because last week when you have Shida throw in the kendo stick, she threw in the kendo stick in the middle for a reason, because it's not indicating that she threw it in for not that she threw it in for Jamie, or that she threw it in for Tony. I think it was Tony and Jamie that were in the ring. So it's not, she threw it in the middle. So she wasn't throwing it towards either, but it got picked up by they got picked up by Jamie, and then she was like, oh, fuck, what did I do? I don't think that was I think that this can be like, you can make sense of it, because you can say, like with the promo that they did leading in, I thought actually course corrected a little bit, because they were saying, oh, these AEW originals, they don't know what it's like to be in WWE. They don't know that if you throw in a kendo stick, they don't understand the mistakes that you can make. And they were like, Shida, you made a stupid ass decision by doing that. You made a bad decision. And the reason why you made that decision is because you're not from the places that we're from. So I don't think, I don't necessarily have an issue with it. I don't think that there's as big of an issue in terms of from last week to this week. I think it still flows correctly, because they didn't have Shida throw it to Jamie. They had her throw it in the middle. So it was, now they can say, instead of Shida throwing it to have a heel turn by Shida, it was she threw it in to try to help. She made a mistake. And then Saraya and Tony said, oh, this is what happens when you're not from WWE. You make mistakes and you make stupid decisions. And then then they beat up Willow because they're just assholes. So I think that this is more of, I mean, I think that's just, I don't know. I'm fucking lost right now for some reason in my head.
Yeah,
listen, I get both
tired.
sides.
I'm so tired. I'm trying to explain it while I'm trying to communicate it well. I'm just exhausted.
Dude,
for me, I can see the line. I think there have been diversions here and there. I think that they were going to turn Shida heel and then decided, no, maybe we should do this instead, and they went this way. For me, just on that path, it's not a straight line. There are
comments, if that's it.
What?
Yeah, I'm just saying, if this is, I agree with this heavily, because I think they were going to go this route until she came.
Yeah.
And I would have much more seen this than what they're giving us right now.
Yeah, I think, and I think that they were going to build to a woman's blood and guts no matter what. The best way to explain how I feel is, let's say that there was a straight line. This is the storyline. They were going on the line. Saraya comes in, divert, and they take a new path. They go with Saraya, and they they put the belt on Jamie, have her beat Tony. They have Saraya beat Britt as a face. They have Tony stay as a face. They have Jamie stay as a face, and they go on this line. Then last week, Saraya's and then I think that they were going to bring in Mercedes, and Mercedes fit on this line. Mercedes was on this line. They knew what they were going to do. Mercedes doesn't come in. So now, where we have this new line, we got to have another line, another thing, because then they have to do something completely different because Mercedes doesn't come in. So instead of it being like what I think you and Romy were saying, is where it's this whole up and down zigzag of different storylines and being a little bit all over the place, I think it's just different lines having to diverge from each other because Saraya came in. So that's one new line. And then Mercedes doesn't come in. That's a new line. They have to tell a new story. And I think it's just more, instead of it being all over the place and being a mess to me, I think it's more of just diverting from their story and having to come up with something new because new things happen. Things change. I think Statlander getting injured threw a lot of wrenches in the plans. I think Statlander was probably going to beat Jade at All Out. I think that they were going to have Statlander beat Jade. That didn't happen, or maybe Full Gear, but I think Statlander getting injured caused issues there. Saraya coming in, I think that was more of a last minute thing. Ronda Rousey getting injured also threw a wrench in everything because she wasn't supposed to be injured. So I think that also threw a wrench in the plans. Mercedes, I think they expected Mercedes to come in. Did not happen. Threw a wrench in the plan. I think there's a lot of factors that happened to where they've had to change some things over time. And so that's why I can't say that this is Tony's fault. I think Tony had a plan. It was supposed to involve Mercedes. Mercedes didn't come. Something happened with Mercedes. She's no longer She no longer came into the company last week. And I think when he booked that match, he expected Mercedes to be there. I think last week with the kendo stick, a lot of people expected that was leading to a Shida heel turn. And I think AEW said this week that wasn't the indication. It was, instead of Shida leading to a Shida heel turn, it was that Shida made a mistake. And that led to Saraya and Tony taking a heel turn because they're saying, look at these fucking AEW originals who haven't been to WWE. These fucking idiots. They don't know what the fuck they're doing. They can't keep up with us. We're better than them. And I think that's what that was. Instead of, and this is an issue where AEW fans, and we said this, talked about this a little bit last week, where AEW fans like to book months in ahead. So when they saw Shida do that, the natural progression for a lot of fans is, oh, Shida's going to turn heel. And this week they said, no, she is not turning heel. She just made a mistake. That's not what that was supposed to indicate. So that's why I don't necessarily think that, they didn't, that the heel turn doesn't go with what she did last week with the kendo stick. But if you're saying that, you're also thinking that the kendo stick was supposed to indicate a Shida heel turn. And I don't think that was ever the point. I think the point was supposed to be that she made a mistake and Saraya and Tony were going to actually turn on her eventually.
Ultimately, she did what she did with the kendo stick. It's just, it was perceived that she was going to turn heel. What she did after that, after the perceived notion, I think was the case, but it was just perceived that she was supposed to turn heel, and that didn't happen. So it's just like,
yeah, I think
everything.
this is, I think that for me, like when you say, if is it a mess or not? For me, it's working. Like I like the story they're telling. I can't say it's a mess because I need to get to the end. I need to see, okay, like let's get to the end of this, see how everything lines up, because I think it's one of those situations where the story, you have to kind of let everything play out, because we're, as fans, we like to see, okay, what's going to happen next, and it's not going the way we thought it was going to go. It's going a different direction, and because it's going a different direction, a lot of fans are saying, oh, it's a mess. I don't think we can say it's a mess, because I think some shit's like I said, Saraya coming in, Thunder Rosa getting injured, and Mercedes not coming in changed some things. So we're seeing we're seeing like some things change that were not supposed to originally happen. But I think we just kind of gotta, like with this situation, we gotta let things just happen and play out. And then at the end, we'll see, okay, does this make sense? Does it not make sense? Then we'll kind of have a bigger picture. I just can't say it's a mess because I think it's still a progressing storyline.
Yeah, that's where we ultimately agree at the end of the day is let's get to the end. Let's see what it all pans out to be.
Yeah. Like I could say like next week, I could say, okay, this is a mess. If Saraya and Tony are all of a sudden faces again, okay, I don't like that. That's kind of fucking stupid. But I got to let everything kind of happen and see what ends up happening with, because I think they are building a woman's blood and guts. I just got to see, okay, what's the end product? Then I can look back on the last 8 months and say, okay, does this make sense?
Which I'm all for. If you want to do women's blood and guts, take my money.
Yeah, especially they know how to do women's hardcore anything right. I'll take it. I'll take it.
Yeah.
Literally. Sign me the fuck up. Literally. You can do the originals, right? The AEW original, the day ones, and those that came from another place. Yeah, sign me up. Why the fuck not? Why the fuck not, people? I'm just saying. I am just saying.
Yeah,
so
I mean, the fact saying they were ready to pull the trigger on Britt and Hayter got messed up. Yeah, I think that was. I think they were going to go that way, and then decided not to. I'm honestly okay with that. I don't need the breakup because that story was the exact same as MJF and Wardlow. So, and they just did Swerve and Lee, which is also a fairly similar story. Yeah. I didn't need that story, so I'm okay with them not doing that and instead just keeping them together and saying, Britt's supportive of her. We don't need, we don't have to have the exact same story with every single group where with two people where one person's the heater for the other guy and then we have the breakup, like the Batista. Batista break up on Randy. We don't need that every single time with these people. And so I like that they're doing something different with them.
Yeah. All right.
Well, so Ruby's definitely turning heel.
Yeah, I see it happening too. I see that happening. Let's move on. Let's move on from all this now.
Yeah. I need to.
So I'm gonna read the poll at the end of the review. All right. So if you have not voted yet, you have time to go and vote.
Mm-hmm. Can you guys talk about the Takeshita segment while I eat this candy?
So they interviewed Takeshita. Konosuke Takeshita. I'm gonna call him Takeshita. I don't know why. I'm gonna call him another Takeshita. But they interviewed him, right? And he started talking, and then he got into the Japanese stuff. Basically, I think called MJF an asshole.
This was a great promo.
Yeah, they asked him about MJF. This was kind of like, I think, supposed to be a rap. Like, I think doing this was actually a really good idea. It was supposed to prove like Disco Inferno and all these other fuckers that he can talk English, he can talk good English and cut good promos. And he just kind of said, and then he did a little bit of English, did a little bit of Japanese, and then Renee said, "What did you just say?" And he goes, basically, MJF's an asshole. I like this. This is a good little segment leading into the main event. And yeah, so like the main event we had Kushida taking on Darby Allin, a dream match here for the TNT titles. This was an open challenge because that's what they're doing. They're doing the open challenge again, which I'm actually a very big fan. I gotta put these pictures back up of the open challenge for the TNT title. That's what the title is based around, open challenges. And I like that they're back to this. Darby, this began with some step backs between the two, trying to start with some mat wrestling. Very much built on submissions and on pin maneuvers here. Kushida trying to work that left arm, and that's what he did. He worked that left arm the whole match. So we had, Darby looking for the arm bar, but Kushida countered. Darby grabbed the bottom rope to force the ref to distance Kushida from him. Kushida grabbed a single on Darby. Kushida blasted Darby with a drop kick. Kushida kicked at Darby's arm, continued to work over that limb, trying to separate the shoulder. A lot of this was Darby trying to take out the members of the LA Dojo because, we had the DKC and Kevin Knight ringside with Kushida, Sting ringside with Darby Allin. Kushida grabbed Darby's arm, rammed his shoulder into the thin mat on the arena floor. Then we had Kushida going for the Pele kick, but Darby kind of grabbed it. And he eventually hits a Scorpion Death Drop, which he beat Juice Robinson with last week. I think from the second rope, he hit the Scorpion Death Drop. So, he's hitting the Scorpion Death Drops a little bit now. Darby on the outside goes for a shotgun drop kick from the second or third rope onto the outside onto Kushida, who was sitting on a chair. Kushida moves out the way, has Darby drop all the way down onto his back from the third rope, and then locks in the Juicy Gatami and holds it there. I like this. They had Kevin Knight and the DKC gave Sting the towel to throw in. Sting wiped his face with it, threw it into the audience, said, "Fuck no, I'm not throwing in the towel here." And then, and then Darby ends up hitting that Last Supper, reverses out of the arm bar into the Last Supper, pins him 1, 2, 3. Kushida wants a rematch eventually down the line with Darby Allin because he thinks that he had him there, and Darby just caught him with that Last Supper at the end. But really, Kushida kind of had him there. I like the storytelling in this match. This was a very much Kushida working that arm. I think that this is going to come into play the next few weeks in Darby's open challenges, with Darby going to be selling that left shoulder for a while. And I think that this reign ends at Revolution with Powerhouse Hobbs beating Darby. And I think them having Sting, like doing the towel stuff with Sting, I think that Powerhouse Hobbs is just going to destroy that arm to where Sting is going to have to throw in the towel. So I think that's what they're building to, is Sting's going to have to eventually throw in the towel for Darby and sometime in this reign.
Yeah.
Good main event. Really good match.
Absolutely.
I liked Kushida. Kushida was very over with the crowd. Good spot for Kushida. I want to see more of him, though. I do want to see more of him. I want to see what he could do in more of a back and forth match, because this was a lot more working the limb than more than a back and forth. I want to see like a 10-minute sprint with him and like give me Danielson. That'll be a banger.
Yeah, most definitely. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah,
I,
Steve, I haven't eaten today. I'm so out of it.
I
Steve,
hear
how'd
you.
you feel about this main event?
I thought overall for a main event, hey man, you brought in Kushida. Kushida being a legend in the junior heavyweight division in New Japan, multiple time IWGP junior heavyweight champion, a big name for Darby Allin in the face. Very good back and forth, like you said, him working the arm, locking in the hoverboard lock, and it looked like Sting was throwing in that towel, but he didn't do it. And I agree with you; it's gonna lead into eventually him and Powerhouse Hobbs, where Sting will throw in that towel.
Yeah.
And live to fight another day. But overall, good. And I do want to see more of Kushida. Maybe I was expecting a graphic, all elite down the road. We'll see.
He's signed in New Japan.
I know, but you never know. You never know.
I mean, if he signed in New Japan, he can't sign it. But yeah, I get what. Okay, Big Mike, how'd you feel?
Yeah, I thought this match was really good. Kushida, working her arm a lot. Usually, I'm not a big fan of like matches like that where it's just constant working of one limb. But I get it with this one, and it was really good. I thought a little bit of it was funny a little bit where Kushida was trying to show um, he was trying to show sportsmanship, and he almost grabbed the arm that he was working, and Darby was looking at him like you mf'er, like don't touch that arm, and he was like, oh my bad, I'm sorry, and yeah, it was really good, really good match.
Of course. So now that we got to the end of the review, I am gonna now close the poll. And into the poll now, I ask you guys: are you guys down with the Tony Storm and Saria heel turn? All right. The options were, oh yeah, it's awesome. Option 2 was, it's stupid, make it make sense. 5 of you voted, and the results are the following: 40%, 60% said it's stupid, make it make sense, and 40% of you said, oh yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah, so 3 voted, and then 3 voted with Mike, 2 voted with me.
Close enough. Fair enough. But
yeah, let's go ahead and get into the ratings.
The rating of the show.
Yeah, so Dynamite last night did an overall of 969,000, about the same as last week. Did a 0.31 in the 18 to 49. I believe it's a little bit down from last week. Yeah, it's definitely down by a decent amount from last week. I think last week did like a 0.37, or no, sorry, like a 0.34, something like that.
Yeah,
I can't find it. It did number 3 overall. It was behind NBA, the Atlanta game, and then the Minnesota game. I don't know who they played. I just see that it says that. It did, yeah. Those two did a 0.47 and a 0.39, and this did a 0.31. The male 18 to 49 was a 0.39. The female was, I believe, a 0.28 is what that looks like. Can't exactly tell. And then, yeah, number 3 overall. That's a good ranking, a good number, I think. And 969 for right now. Like last week, I think expected over 1 million. This week, I expected actually a decent drop. I expected around 910. And the fact that they got it at 969, yeah, good number.
Yes, absolutely. Oh, absolutely. It was a very good show. Very good number.
Yeah, good number, good show. That's about what you like. That's about what you're going to get at in January, I think, is the reality. That's about what you're going to do.
Are you going to talk about the Vince latest? No, we'll talk about that tomorrow on Around the Point.
Tomorrow, yeah.
On Around the Point tomorrow. We need some stuff for tomorrow. So yeah, guys. This is gonna. Anything else you guys want to add before we put a bow on this? I know later on we got to come back later and record and do all.
I can say what they. Okay, so what they announced for Impact that I will be at. So Friday, Alexander, Kazarian, Yamura, and Swan versus The Design and Callahan. The digital media title, Matt Cardona versus Joe Hendry. I believe in Joe Hendry. Ace Austin and Chris Bay versus Kushida and Kevin Knight. Killer Kelly and Taylor Wilde versus the Death Dolls. Saturday, because it's 2 nights of taping. Saturday, we're going to have Chris Bay versus Kushida. Didn't I just say I wanted some high-paced Kushida matches? Chris Bay and Kushida.
Oh, you're gonna get it.
Yeah, Diener and Callahan versus Yamura and Kaz. Mike Bailey and Jonathan Gresham versus the Motor City Machine Guns. Holy fuck. Motor City versus Speedball and Gresham. Ooh. And a Monsters Ball X Division title match. Crazy Steve and Trey Miguel. Those are the announced matches. So I will definitely be at both shows because holy shit, that's a good fucking card.
I believe in Joe Hendry.
I have not eaten today. I did not even wake up till 1:30. I had coffee and I had a Baby Ruth. So I'm starting to kind of lose it because I'm really
Baby Ruth.
Baby Ruth.
I love Baby Ruths.
I love Baby Ruths. They're so good.
Yeah. So
I have like a bag of
fifth favorite
Baby Ruths.
So in case you guys been wondering, again, guys, we've been at it, bro. We've been working here on the Around the Point Network. In case you guys have missed it, our show from the last couple of days. Let me see here. On Monday, we went live with a Steve's Kitchen. More of the Vince stuff that happened at that point. On Tuesday, we did the Raw Rundown. We recapped everything from this past Monday Night Raw. We were gonna do Let's Talk NXT, but because what happened with the passing of Jay Briscoe and all the events, we decided to do an Around the Point Extra where we basically did a tribute to Jay Briscoe, which is on the archive of this channel. And of course, right now we did S.A.D, something about Dynamite, and tomorrow we'll be live at 10 p.m. back to our regular start time for the flagship show. You guys know what it is, Around the Point. All right. So that's going to be on the menu. And next week, we'll have, I believe Monday is going to be up on Monday. Right, boys?
I think so.
Yeah.
By Monday, I want to say morning, we'll have
It'll be a premiere.
It'll be a premiere of the throwback. We'll be recapping Raw from 2002, I believe it was 2002. The return of Triple H to Monday Night Raw at MSG. So again, all the stuff you guys can tune into. If you have not yet subscribed to this channel, to the Around the Point Network, what are you waiting for? Hit the subscribe button down below. Give the video a big old thumbs up. Share to social media. We are running a Royal Rumble contest for a chance for one of you to win a WWE Shop gift card. All that information regarding the contest is on my Twitter, on my pinned tweet. If you want
I went through the tweet. It's in the chat again. If you guys didn't see it from earlier, so yeah, you should be able to copy and paste that. Click on it, whatever. I don't know how
exactly
this works.
Jump on it. Bum, 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 bum. Jump on him. Just saying. All right. But with that being said, guys, you can follow me on Twitter at HeelSteven. And again, here every single 5 days out of the week here on the Around the Point Network and all that fun stuff. Big Mike, let them know where can they check you out, man.
Yeah, you can follow me on Twitter at DetroitGamer313. Also, every day here on the Around the Point Network, and sometimes on True Hill Heat and True Hill Heat Sports.
Exactly. And of course, the one, the only Mr. Caden Lee.
Yeah, you guys can find me on my new Twitter account at Caden Lee _. That's KADENLEE _. Go follow me there. I'm trying to build my subscriber or my followers back after I lost my old account. Pretty confident I'm not getting it back. It's been 2 weeks now. So yeah, please go follow me over there. You guys can also find me this weekend. I'll be watching my Jacksonville Jaguars take on the Kansas City Chiefs in the NFL playoffs. I think it's Saturday. Oh, maybe I won't be there. I think I'll be at Impact Saturday. So I don't know. I'll try to be there. I don't know what time
you're gonna be there. Watch. You're gonna pop up on the stream.
NFL. Let me see what time this game is. Because if it's an afternoon game, yeah, okay. So it's a 4:30. So I might be on for a little bit before I head to Orlando. Depends on I don't know if I'm staying the night in Orlando or not. But I'm gonna try to, if I can, hop on for a little bit to support Duval. I will. And then I'll probably be on the Sunday games for sure. Because I know I'll be home Sunday.
Alrighty.
Bengals, Bills, Cowboys, Niners. Oh yeah. I should be on Sunday at least for the games. And you can also, go over to Fightful Overbooked, the first episode of my new monthly show, Book It, with Kylie Fuller. I talked about that a little earlier. We are booking Kenny Omega's IWGP US Heavyweight title reign. It's a fantasy booking show where we book something, a specific topic, like this week, Kenny Omega's IWGP US Heavyweight title reign. And we book it for 6 to 12 months, 2 years, or whatever, however long we want to go. Just depends on what the topic is and how long we go. So we went through All Out, and we really we actually write out storylines. We write out matches that we want to do. It's very in-depth. It's very detailed on that specific topic, and it's based in reality. So we're not just saying, oh, we want Kenny Omega to fucking wrestle Jushin Thunder Liger. Like we're being realistic with everything that we do. So it's a different take on fantasy booking. It's supposed to be a different version of what people normally do. Like Adam Blampier does a fantasy booking show, but we're doing it a little differently. It's very fun. It's really, really fun. It's a very fun show.
Alrighty, guys. Want to thank you guys for tuning in, taking the time out of your day here on this Thursday afternoon, evening, wherever you are around the world. Thank you all for tuning in as always here on the Around the Point Network. For myself, for Mr. Caden Lee, for Big Mike, and for the entire gang, this has been Something About Dynamite here on the Around the Point Network. We're out of here. Peace out, everybody. See you tomorrow for Around the Point.